Welcome to the Blind Abilities coverage of the 2018 National Federation of the Blind Convention, sponsored by IRA.
IRA, your life, your schedule, right now.
In this coverage of the National Federation of the Blind 2018 in Orlando, Florida, I meet up with a virtual friend of mine. I've conversed with him many times. His name is Will Butler, and he's the communications director at the San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind and Visually Impaired. It's such a great opportunity at these conventions to meet up with people you've only virtually met. I was really honored to be able to finally meet up with Will Butler and talk about the San Francisco Lighthouse, the opportunities and events that they've created out in San Francisco, not only for California, but people worldwide. I also met up with Scott Blanks, and he gave a little description of the T-Maps that they were giving away at the convention.
IRA, a description of life.
Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. I'm down here in Orlando, Florida, Convention 2018, and I came across the San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind and Visually Impaired booth, and I ran into Will Butler, and he's the communications director. How are you doing, Will?
Excellent. How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Finally face-to-face with the great Jeff Thompson.
I don't know about the great part, but I'm here, and it's really exciting to be here. It's really hot down here.
Well, you got to wear a sweater inside because you're going to freeze inside.
Oh, yeah. Well, in California, you're in the northern part of California where it doesn't really get this hot, right?
You know, every year it's hotter and hotter up there.
Oh,
but
really?
Where it really gets hot is out in Napa.
Yes, up on Cedar Mountain, where Enchanted Hills Camp, part of San Francisco Lighthouse, is.
That's right, yeah. We have our camp out there in the hills of wine country, and it's, gosh, I don't know, 68th year, I think. And it almost was its last year earlier this fall because the fires that came through Northern California came and ripped through the area and tore down about half of our camp, including all the cabins where the kids stay every year. So we are just barely recovered from that, and we're lucky enough to be able to launch a camp season again for June.
Yep, the doors are open up there.
They are indeed, and there are a lot of blind kids and families who are really happy about that because they didn't want to miss a year. Some people haven't missed a year in generations.
Oh, that's awesome. All the way from Africa, there's people coming from Poland, people from Australia volunteering.
I hear you're going to spend a couple weeks up there.
I'll be up there with George Wurtzel. It's Woodworking for the Blind. They hold their annual event, and Enchanted Hills does such a great job at that, where we go up there, we have a beginner's class, and then we have a advanced woodworkers class. I'll be up there from the 6th, starting with the music camp that you guys run up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a great opportunity for people to be
running some music, running some saw, running some power tools. You're a pretty hands-on guy, huh?
Yeah, I worked at Blind Incorporated. When I went there as a student, they gave me a click ruler, and I was able to figure it out. It all came back to me so fast that they hired me to teach it. And from there on, it's just been fun to do stuff that people really didn't expect me to do.
What do you think about maps?
Maps? That's what you guys got here, right?
Yeah. Do you want to see what we got here at the table?
Sure.
Here, come on over. Okay, so what we've got here, what we're showing off at the convention in particular this year is T-Map. And T-Maps are our tactile map automated production. So one of the big things we do at Lighthouse in the Mad Lab is we make maps for people to order. Like someone will say, I need a map of my neighborhood, I need a map of my whatever, and we'll turn it into a tactile graphic that they can feel and use to get around. But we figured that's not really super scalable because it's just our time and resources. So we created software that actually allows you to type an address in and print with an embosser, auto print a tactile map, kind of like on demand.
Really?
Yeah. In some ways, if you have access to an embosser, it's like that Google Maps experience of being able to just type an address in and get an aerial view of the area around your point of interest and really get to know an area by exploring rather than turn-by-turn directions.
Well, I remember when I first lost my sight and I was trying to draw these mental maps, I always wanted something that I could put my finger on and actually get an idea of what the big picture looks like.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you want a map of your neighborhood? They're free.
Sure.
Okay.
So this is something that you offer out in San Francisco as well?
Yeah, and actually pretty soon you're going to be able to buy these on-demand maps from us. You'll be able to just go on the Lighthouse website, type your address in, and we'll send you a map wherever you want.
What website is that?
That's lighthouse-sf.org.
Well, that's really great. I was feeling these yesterday. I found Market Street on San Francisco, and they had a You Are Here button. It was really good. So what else does San Francisco Lighthouse offer to people in California? Well, wait, I shouldn't say California because I've been out there 3 years in a row and I'm from Minnesota.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we definitely love the idea that people are starting to come from all over the country and all over the world to take advantage of the services that we offer and the fun programs that we have. We've got these dorm-style short-term residences now in the building, in our San Francisco building, which house like 29 people at a time, and they're actually quite nice dorms. They're better than your college dorm for sure. And so people can come out and for immersion classes and week-long retreats and whatnot, and really stay with us and kind of get immersed in the whatever the program is. So we offer employment immersions for youth ages 16 to 24 every summer. The youth stay with us for 3 weeks and they get job experience in the community in the San Francisco area. They get to go to work for a few days out of the week, and they have workshops, and then culminates with a conference all together. So they really get to bond over that over a period of a few weeks. And then we have also similar youth employment programming throughout the year for anyone in the Bay Area or anyone who can make it out on the weekends.
And people can get that newsletter from the Lighthouse. I get one once a week, maybe.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we kind of affectionately call it Lighthouse Lately, where we just update folks on what's been going on. It's usually about 4 things every week. And it is about our programs, but it's also about things that I think would appeal to people globally in the blindness community. It's where we might give you the latest update about the Holman Prize. It's where we might talk about, new initiatives or accessibility-related advancements that have been made or projects that we've worked on. We worked on a project recently with Microsoft called Soundscape, which was a really cool app that helps blind people navigate just with sound and 3D kind of beacons. And the Holman Prize, we're about to announce the winners of the Holman Prize next week.
I know, I'm excited. I watched the countdown. You had I believe it was 50 and then down to the 10 plus the 1.
That's right. So we have 3 winners just like last year.
Is that in Boston?
Yeah. Let's go over there and listen to that in Boston. So what are we printing over here?
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff, for getting us on. We are just finishing a T-map, street map for someone here at the table. I'm not going to give you the whole address. This is a free giveaway that we're doing here at the convention, basically, is just a tactile street map. What we sell in our San Francisco store, and stop me if Will's already covered this, is a package that includes 3 scales of the address that you request, and not just tactile, but also print. So we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to benefit from these maps. So you'll get those 3 scales, the key, and an intro page that gives you a simple description of what you are about to lay your hands on, or your eyes.
Describe what the embosser just spat out for you and what you're doing.
Yeah, so the embosser is a tractor-fed embosser, and what we have is 2 pages. The first page is a map with the address at the top, streets, and abbreviations at the edge of the map. And then the second page is the map key, which gives you the abbreviation, the full street name, and the directionality, so east-west, north-south, northeast-southwest, etc. And so then I'm just going to staple it up and hand it over to the lucky person who requested it, and they'll have a little piece of their world unlocked and maybe grab a little more independence because of it.
How long did it take you to print that?
Oh, from the time we got the address to the finished product, that was maybe 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
On demand, we mean it. On demand is the real thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Scott.
Handed it off.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
If people want to find out more about San Francisco Lighthouse or the Blind and Visually Impaired out there in California, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can just type Lighthouse on Facebook, and we're one of the first ones that comes up. There are other lighthouses around the country, but we're the one in the Bay Area. You can find Enchanted Hills Camp on Facebook. They have a very active camp-related Facebook page. And then you can go to our website at lighthouse-sf.org, lighthouse-sf.org, and explore everything there. If you want to learn more about T-maps, you can go to lighthouse-sf.org/T-map. If you want to just go directly to subscribe for our newsletter, you can go to lighthouse-sf.org/subscribe.
All right. We've been talking to Will Butler. He is the communications director out at San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind and Visually Impaired of San Francisco. Thank you very much for taking the time.
It's always been a dream of mine to be on your podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
While waiting for my map, I had to ask about the embosser.
What kind of embosser are you using?
The one we brought today, that's a View Plus Columbia.
So you must be pretty confident in it that you would bring it to the convention.
Yeah, that's exactly why we brought it. We've been doing this grind for a while, and the last few conferences we were actually doing swell paper. So we were bringing PIOFs and Zychems, but those things are fragile. They don't like to travel. They don't like to be handled on the road. They break. So we tried this instead. They're inexpensive. Seems to be reliable. It's just cranking them out. Back at the shop, we're actually using a View Plus M Fuse, which is pretty esoteric because it does the ink print as well as the braille. But those are really big units. You don't want to pack that up in a road case and bring it on tour.
This one seems like something that you could move around a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're light, they're small. It's designed for the home pretty much.
All right, Jeff, I have your map for you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
IRA. Independence like never before.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the realities of blind abilities.
The realities of blind
abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.